Hello and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Colleen Beamish from Humor Bean Cards, and today I will be making a handful of cards featuring the Beach Bird stamps and dies from Gina K designs. Now you're going to hear me say throughout this video how much I love this stamp set because it is so versatile and it's perfect for making very simple, clean cards that the recipient will love. When I run out of creative mojo, this is the type of stamp set I grab because I can come up with so many different ideas just using these stamps. So without further ado, let's get into it. I have a piece of heavyweight white cardstock here, cut to 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm scoring at 4 1/4. This is going to be my card base for our first card. All of the cards will use the same heavyweight cardstock for the base. I just will fold them slightly differently, so I will mention that when we come to it. So I go ahead and use my bone folder to reinforce that fold, and like I said, most of these cards are going to be very clean and simple. This first card, technically it's a 2-layer card because I'm going to add some pattern cardstock, but for the most part, all of these could be done in 1 layer, and I'm going to start with kind of the easiest version and make it a little bit of a fancier card from there. So I went through my patterned paper scrap stash and I pulled out a few different patterns that are kind of in that coastal color scheme of the blue-green color. This first one has horizontal stripes. Obviously it's double-sided with this fall coloring, so just ignore that. But I'm just using some Barely Arts liquid glue to glue that onto my card front. Using liquid glue for this is really great because you can kind of wiggle it around, so I'm making sure that that pattern paper lines up right with the corners and on the bottom edge of my card. Now I'll get out my mini MISTI. I have a sticky mat in the bottom so that the card base will stay in place, but I am tucking it into the corner. So if you don't have a sticky mat, just tuck the card into the corner and make sure it stays there as you do your stamping because you will probably want to double or triple stamp. Now I'm lining up the long stamp that is a row of birds all together. This is one of my favorite stamps in this set, and I'm struggling to visualize how they're going to look on my card. So I'm actually using the image on the stamp set to kind of line it up and figure out how I want the stamp lined up on my card and to just kind of give an idea of what it will look like with that pattern paper. I use that technique all of the time for planning. It's much easier when you remove the stamp from the paper and then use the image. And then here you'll see I put the stamp down on my card and I'm using that image again to see how I have the stamp lined up and if I like how it looks. I'll use that same technique throughout this video whenever I'm aligning my stamps, especially when it comes to the sentiments. Now I've never used this stamp set before, so I'm going in with my fingertips and I'm just gonna rub all over that stamp, and basically I'm rubbing off any like residue from manufacturing. I'm kind of roughing up the surface of the stamp, and that will just let the ink kind of really settle into it a bit more rather than having a slick surface that the ink won't stick to. So I'm just using some Gina K Amalgam Black ink for this, and I love this ink. This is my go-to ink all of the time, but it's really great with these detailed stamps. Now the stamps are very detailed, so when I first stamped it down, I was worried about pressing too hard because I didn't want to just make all of the ink splotch out. But I realized after this first stamping that I can press quite a bit harder as I would with a regular stamp because it isn't, I don't know if it's just that, I don't know what it is, but it's a really well-made stamp. So you can fill up with ink and stamp it down. I did end up double stamping. I might have even triple stamped just so that you get that really crisp image. Since the card is so simple, just being the pattern paper and some stamping, you want the stamping to look fantastic because it's kind of the main thing to look at. Now I'm taking one of these sentiments from the stamp set. I think it says "with you every step of the way," which I thought looks so cute with this stamped image. And I'm just lining that up in between the lines in the pattern paper, which is really fun. You can obviously, I think the sentiment would look great at the top too, centered on the card. So there's a lot of different ways you can kind of line things up, and you could do the same exact card with all the sentiments in the stamp set, which I think is really fun. These would also be great cards to mass produce because you can just use the MISTI over and over again. So again, I'll double stamp my sentiment, and then that actually is the card complete. So it was like, what, 3 steps to make this card, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Very clean and simple and can be used for so many things. So on to card number 2. Again, I have some heavyweight white cardstock here, and this one is actually 11 by 4 1/4, and I'm scoring it at 5.5. So this is going to be a top folding portrait card. So a little bit of a different shape and fold than the last card. I'm just using my bone folder to score that using my Scor-Buddy, and then I will go ahead and reinforce the fold. Now again, I'm using the horizontal pattern paper that I used on the last card, but this time, rather than putting it right at the bottom, I'm going to put it a little bit further up. I'm trying to visualize where I want this paper to be and which stamps I'm going to use. So I originally thought I'd be using the 2 birds that are kind of, well, I guess, poking around in the sand, but I was going back and forth between those and some of the flying bird images. At first I do take out the sand birds, but then I do end up using the flying birds in the end. So yeah, but again, I'm using the imagery on the stamp set to really picture what it's going to look like. Before I do that, I will adhere down my pattern paper. And here you'll see why using the liquid glue is really helpful, because I do end up kind of moving this around after I put it down. I wanted to move it up a little bit. I should also mention that if you wanted to add a bit more dimension and you don't want these cards to just be flat, you could be popping up the pattern paper with some foam tape. And also, if you wanted the images not to just be flat on the paper, you can always use the dies to cut the images out. And I will have a couple of examples of using the dies with these cards. But any of them can be adjusted so that you can use the dies with them. So just like before, I'm using the stamps to kind of figure out where I want them to lay. But like I said, I do end up switching the stamps out from this design to the flying birds because I could just picture it a little bit better. But I do imagine myself making a lot more of these cards, and I'm sure these stamps will be involved in that. So once I have these stamps aligned as I like them, I bring over my MISTI and stick my card with the stamps lined up right inside. I do sometimes find it easier to line up my stamps, especially when they're these larger stamps, right on the card base outside of the MISTI, just so that you can get the full picture of what it will look like. Sometimes when I have it tucked into the MISTI, it's hard to kind of really picture the card as its own entity. So I did end up shifting over the stamps just a tiny bit so that they were more centered, and then I'll go ahead and pick them up with the door of my MISTI. Same process, I went ahead and prepped the stamps with my fingertips, and I'm using that black ink to stamp these down. You can use any color ink for this. I did consider using a brown ink, which I would probably recommend one of the Pinkfresh Studio browns, just because I know on these detailed images that ink would work really well. And then the other option is to not leave it just black and white. You can color in these images with your Copics, or even do some ink blending behind it. I actually just thought these would look so great if you stamped them down and then masked over them with masking paper, and then did some ink blending behind them. That would be really beautiful. So definitely something to consider. Again, I have a sentiment. This one says, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you," and I'm stamping that right above the pattern paper. Now, this sentiment is really special to me. It is from a song, a religious song, that they sing at most funerals. And I actually lost my papa earlier this year, and his funeral was just a few weeks ago, and that was a song that was played at his funeral. So I was thinking of him as I was making these cards, and this stamp set has some other religious sentiments, but if you're not a religious person, I think there's plenty of other sentiments in this set, and if you're not someone who typically sends cards to religious people, you still have options. So I wouldn't say that just because it has religious sentiments, you should not get this set, because it's really versatile. Now you just saw I was lining up the dies from the set on some heavyweight cardstock, and I ran that through my die cutting machine. I cut out the 4 bird images that I haven't used yet, knowing that I was going to make a few more cards. And I'm just leaving the cutout shape inside of the paper as it came out of my die cutting machine. So they're all cut out here, but I'm just leaving them in the negative space. This is really easy for me to line up the stamps with the die cut image. I'm really bad at trying to line up the die with a stamped image after I've stamped it. Like, I don't know why that's so much harder for me. But here I have the borders for the stamp to fit inside, and then it's already die cut out, so it's good to go once I stamp it down. And having that sticky mat in the MISTI is really great too, because all of the images, the die cuts, will stay right in place. So same exact process again, stamping this down with my Obsidian black ink from Gina K, applying a lot of pressure to these. Again, just because they're that detailed, you still need to press them down pretty firmly, and then I will double stamp these as well. Now, I haven't mentioned yet that all of the stamp set and the dies, they are available at ScrapbookPal.com, and they're linked down in the description below, along with all the other products and tools I used today. I don't have the pattern paper linked down below, but that is just from my scrap stash, and I'm sure as card makers, we all have our stashes of scraps, so this is a great opportunity to use up some of yours. Hopefully, you have some fun patterns that you can use on these. And then once my images are stamped out, I can just pop them right out of the card base here, and these images look so good. They lined up perfectly. I love how they look. I could make a billion of these. Like, this is definitely a great mass producing set. So once those are good to go, I'm going to start designing my next card. So I have 3 different pattern papers here. One with kind of a grid, one with some plus sides, and then one in a plaid. And they're all the same color family, or like the same colors, just different patterns. So it's adding a little bit of more variety. And I have them cut down to different widths. And they're all going to be the same, the height of the card. And for this one, I am doing a landscape card again. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I already folded it and everything. So it's top folding. The first strip, I would say maybe it's an inch wide, and I'm putting it all the way over on the left side of the card, right into the corner. And then I'm taking a second strip of cardstock, which is the thinnest strip, and I'm just going to adhere that next to it. I am leaving a little bit of a gap between the pattern papers. That's just a style choice. You know, this is very much playful. You can kind of choose however you like the papers to line up. And then again, using liquid glue, and that's really great for this because it gives me some wiggle room. Now the third piece of paper is that blue plaid, and I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm going to glue it right next to the others with a little bit of space in between. You could do this all the way across the card. You could do it horizontally from the other end. You could do it where they don't all reach, like they don't go all the way from the top to the bottom of the card, like leave a little bit of space or different heights. There's a lot of different options, and one of the best parts about these cards is that it's very playful. Like, I felt like I was just kind of playing with paper and stamps, which is one of the best ways to practice creativity, I think. Now I'm using my big Spellbinders Pro Shears to cut off the excess here. You can definitely use your paper trimmer. I just love these scissors. They're ginormous, and it's very satisfying to cut off the extra. And then I'm using my die cut images, and I'm putting some foam tape on the back. So this card will have a bit more dimension than the previous ones. As I said, they're getting slightly fancier from that kind of like 1-layer card to here. But you don't need to pop these up. You can put them right down on the card base. So the first one I'm putting kind of, I would say nearly centered in those 3 pattern papers. And then the other one I will also pop up, but it will be kind of right on the edge of the pattern papers. Visually, you're kind of seeing it carry across the card front, and then you'll see with where I put the sentiment, it just kind of creates a triangle and spreads out the imagery really nicely. So again, I'm using the same sentiment, do not be afraid, for I am with you. I think this sentiment is perfect for sympathy cards, and I think the coloring of these cards is really great for sympathy too, because it's not too bold or bright. but it's also not gray and sad. So yeah, that's the third card complete. Very simple, but so elegant in a way, and so just really nice. So the last card, again, I got a little bit fancier. So I have the bird image I'm going to use and the pattern paper I'm going to use, and I knew I wanted to do some die cutting again, but I wanted to make it a little bit different rather than just putting the bird die cut right on the card. So I'm actually going to use the die to cut out of the pattern paper, but it's going to be off of the bottom edge, so it's not centered. You can kind of see how I have it lined up here, and I'm just going to use some washi tape to stick the die to the pattern paper so that it doesn't move. I'm making sure that the washi tape goes inwards rather than on the outer edge, because sometimes you can get that like washi tape imprint, and I didn't want that on the pattern paper. So now you can see you have a partial bird cut out, and the die fits right inside, so you can definitely just use that die on the inside. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stamp inside of the cutout space. So first I'm putting some temporary adhesive on the back of this pattern paper, and that's just because I want to keep it in place while I align the stamp and get that figured out. So I'll bring this over to my MISTI and start aligning the stamp right inside of that die cut shape. First I need to cut off the excess because all that extra paper won't fit inside of my MISTI, and then the stamp lines up right inside as if I were lining it up with a die cut to stamp it. So it's the same exact thing, and it makes it very easy to get the stamp situated where it should be. So per usual, you know the gist. I'm using my black ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that down and double stamp it to make sure I get a solid image, and it will fit perfectly right inside of that pattern paper with a slight outline. I love how that looks. I love the grid around it, and I love the stark black stamped image, and I think that looks fantastic. So I went ahead and also stamped the little feet, footprints behind the bird, and then I'll stamp my sentiment right below it. I didn't know how I wanted this laid out when I first started making it, but you could stamp all of those images at the same time, like put them all in the MISTI at once. But I did them one at a time. And the sentiment says, "A journey begins with a single step." Now, I am popping up the pattern paper, but that is something you definitely don't have to do. You could glue it right to the card base. I also want to say that you don't even have to add the pattern paper. That card with just the stamped images is really cool and bold, and I really like it. But the pattern paper definitely adds something fun to it. So I'll go ahead and stick that down with my foam tape. It lines up perfectly, and that is my fourth card complete. So 4 cards. I don't even think, it maybe took me an hour to make all 4 of these cards, and I love how each and every one turned out. I will definitely be making these exact cards again, as well as mixing it up and adding some other designs using this stamp set, and probably some other pattern papers and colors too. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I hope I could provide some creative inspiration for you. Be sure to check out this stamp set over at ScrapbookPal.com and subscribe to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel here, because there's always some more crafty inspiration all the time. So I hope to see you again real soon. Thanks so much. Bye.